how big of a part do you want the Scions to play in Dawntrail? It's like some people are saying, the Scions have kind of run their course.
Yeah, they're washed up. They all got gray hair, white hair.
Yeah.
Just throw them in the nursing home. I mean, that's one thing I want more from Eorzea is like focusing more on like people in the world that aren't the main characters that are like super OP. What would an adventurer be like in this world who doesn't have like these godlike powers, just an average person?
The one thing that they really haven't explored in this game is what the culture is like. For example, does Eorzea have any celebrities? Are there any big time musicians?
You kind of get that with class quests. Because like the very first Gunbreaker mission is like escorting some singer, some celebrity chick.
Yeah.
The problem is like all those kinds of like cool storylines are locked behind a class quest that's like not even canon. You have to, if you're not on a conquest to level all your classes, you're gonna miss a lot of things. So I don't know. I wish I would push more of those smaller stories to the forefront.
Yeah, and I mean, like everyone is talking about this like beach episode 5. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Chocobo Radio. Today we have a very, very, very special guest, and if you know me, a very personal guest in my opinion, because as you know, a lot of my content is memes, it's shit posting, and today I think it's fair to say we have the king of 14 shit posting, Saucey Noodle, everybody. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people who don't know who you are.
Thank you. I had my own sitcom crowd.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm Saucey Noodle. I'm a filmmaker, video editor, and shit poster.
Yeah,
I like the memes, funny memes.
I love it. I love it. So we have this is actually a pretty good timing for this podcast because we have just came off of Live Letter, and there has been a lot of news, in my opinion, about 14 and Dawntrail and where this entire story is kind of going. So I think where I want to start today is just by asking you, how did you get into 14? Like, how did you get introduced into the game? When did it happen? Tell us that story.
How I got into it? That's happened a long time ago. I don't know the exact details, but I was always an MMO addict growing up. So I was always looking for those like anime style games.
Yeah.
So eventually I stumbled upon 14, but I was in high school at the time, so I could not pay for the subscription.
Yeah.
But I played the fuck out of the free trial though. But that was back during Stormblood. I played the free trial. Back then it was only up to like level 35.
Yeah. So
I played the free trial, I quit, but then I saw the Shadowbringers trailer like a year later, and that's what got me to sub, and that's what got me to like play after this point.
Damn, that's cool. So you started around the Shadowbringers. I mean, so would you say that you got back into it in Shadowbringers, and that's like when the game actually clicked for you, or did you like it before that?
I liked it before that. It was just that like super low like free trial limit.
Yeah,
that stopped me.
Gotcha. Okay, well, like I said, we just had Live Letter, and pretty much like if you missed the Live Letter, pretty much the only thing that you missed is they gave us a lot of new information about the graphics update. And the graphics update has always been interesting to me because I always wondered how they were going to implement this, and they actually finally released the benchmarking tool for the graphics update. And the reason why the benchmark tool is interesting is because you can actually see some of the new tech that's being implemented in 7.0. So I'm just curious, what did you think about what we saw? Like, how do you think the graphics update is a good one? Is it a W? Is it an L? Like, how do you see this graphic update now that we kind of get to see it with our own eyes on our own computers with this benchmark tool?
So as a video maker, I think it's a W. I'm excited to make some more beautiful videos now. With all the updated textures, with all the new grass textures. On the downside, as a bun boy, I'm kind of suffering.
Why?
I'm definitely gonna fan to when 7.0 comes out.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, male Vieira got hit kind of hard. I mean, my Bun Boy didn't look too bad, but I see a lot of others suffering. I'm also excited about Hrothgar, how the new Cat Boys look too.
Yeah,
so
the only thing for me, the reason why I haven't fancied into like a bunny yet is just because of the way that the hats are dealt with, and I'm just wondering, like, did that ever, like, how do you see that, and do you ever think that's ever gonna change?
It's insane to me because we've been having this issue for like so long, and it's like they still haven't. Because I would imagine it doesn't take too much effort to just cut out some bunny ear holes, and just make it, just make it so we can wear hats and stuff.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Like I had that cope, right? I had that cope where it's like, well, we're gonna get this graphics update, and then everything's kind of gonna change, but I haven't heard them talk about anything about Vieiras or wearing hats, and I don't know. It's I feel like that's gonna be the big, like, if they don't fix it with Dawntrail, I think that's gonna be like the main complaint that everyone's going to have going into 7.0, and then after, like, towards 8.0, because I feel like the community always kind of gets around one big issue, whether it's like wanting more glamour dressers, whether it's wanting additional dyes, it's about wanting a revamped PvP. I feel like there's always one thing that everybody is sort of complaining about, and I feel like that one with the Vieiras and the hats, I feel like that one has been bubbling up a lot during Endwalker, and if they don't fix it for Dawntrail, I feel like that's going to be one of the biggest ones, in my opinion.
Yeah, I always thought about that, like whether it was gaming, whether it was like a spaghetti code issue, because I know 1.0 was a mess.
Yeah,
they're still trying to like figure things out with that to this day, or if it's just like a bureaucracy issue. They're just like, because I know Final Fantasy has a very strict chain of flagpole when it comes to like adding things to the game.
Yeah,
that could be it. But I mean, on the bright side, it's Dawntrail. We're outside. We don't need hats. That badly.
Right.
It's warm.
Yeah, we're gonna be on a beach all day.
If your character has a bald spot, you're kind of in trouble.
Right. So during the live letter, we also got a calendar of all of the events that we're gonna get right before Dawntrail, and I was actually pretty excited because there's a lot going on, in my opinion. And the biggest collab event that we just got was the 16 collab. So I'm kind of curious as to how did you think that went? What did you think of the rewards, and what are your general thoughts on 16 in general?
So I haven't played 16, so it's all new to me.
Yeah,
but I think the little bit that I got out of 16 through the event was really good. The story was really good. I'm very happy with how they did Clive's model. It was really well done.
It looks great.
I like that they gave us Clive's outfit. That was the one thing I was looking forward to more than anything.
I think for me, the biggest thing that I enjoyed was just having the dodge action. So that has been one of the things that I have been complaining about for a while now, that I think the game should implement, just to make combat a little bit more interesting. The two things that I've been asking for a while now is having a dodge mechanic and having a parry mechanic. And although we kind of already have those two, I feel like if they just flesh it out a little bit more, if they put a little bit more emphasis on it, I think that could really change up the way that combat is in this game. Because I don't know about you, but I don't really come from an MMO background. This is actually my first MMO that I've ever played. So my background mainly comes from like action RPGs and games like that. Games like Dark Souls, for example, where all of the combat is kind of based around, you know, rolling and dodging away from enemy attacks or parrying enemy attacks. And I feel like that's something that I sort of wish this game had, just to make it a little bit more interesting, just to make it a little bit more engaging, because we already have something like that. Like I said, we already have it in game. Dancer already has a dodge action, and then tanks already have kind of like a sort of parry where you use like where, you know, like when the cast bar is like a little bit red and you could interrupt the enemy's attack. That is technically basically a parry if you think about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they just put a little bit more emphasis on it, like this dodge action that we got in this collab, I think that would be great, and I think that would just make the combat a little bit more better. But I'm curious as to like how do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, as someone who's played for a while, going back and playing the FF15 event, you can clearly see they've improved. They've like put a lot of more effort into fleshing out their like job actions. But at the same time, like I get it, like playing this game, going from action to this game makes me fall asleep sometimes. I fall asleep playing this game, doing dailies.
Yeah,
I won't lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they could add something that's like spice it up, I'd greatly appreciate it.
So yeah, it's just tough because, and I even made this. I made a video about this the other day where it's like, you know, is 14 too easy? And I feel like the majority of the comments that I saw in my video where people were saying, yeah, it's a little bit too easy. They need to, you know, up the difficulty a little bit more just to make everything a little bit more interesting. But, you know, occasionally I do get that comment of people saying, well, I don't want a stressful game. You know, when I get home from work, I just want to turn my brain off and have a pleasant time. And I don't know, like I feel that a lot of people are missing the point when people say they want this game to just be a little bit more difficult, because like I said in my video, anybody who has done a duty roulette where you get like an ARR dungeon, you really start to see how different the game was back then and how easy it is now. And like you said, like it does make you fall asleep sometimes. Like I have to watch like a YouTube video, or I need to have Netflix playing like on the side whenever I'm doing my daily roulettes, because without it, it's just very slow, and all you're really doing is just spamming the AoE button, you know, until you get to the boss, and then you just beat the boss, and that's pretty much it. So but I am wondering, do you think 14 is too easy? Should they make it harder? Like, what would you like to see to make the gameplay a little bit more interesting? Like, how would you want them to spice it up?
I don't think it's too hard or too easy, honestly. I mean, one thing I would like is if they could add a way that you could do dailies with a party that's like more than 4 people.
What do you mean?
You know, because a lot of times I find like when I have my game nights on my server, my Discord server, a lot of times we end up having more than 4 people in a party. So I'm in my mind, I'm thinking like it can't be that hard to just like scale up the damage, you know? Scale up the dungeon enemies, just to, like make it so we can clear it synced with like more than 4 people.
That would be cool. Yeah, they if you have 8 people, they just double up the amount of trash mobs and the boss. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because when you have too many people, you can only do like alliance raids, normal raids. It kind of limits what you can do in the game.
I completely agree. I feel like unless you're doing like a map night, there really isn't that much that you can do when you have like a party together. Which is funny, and I've been thinking about this for like another video where I kind of want them to sort of update the way that the party system works. Like one of the things that always bothered me playing through the MSQ of this game when I first started playing was the fact that even though this is like a multiplayer game, you can't really do MSQ like with a friend, with like a buddy, because you're just constantly having to like ungroup in the party to just, you know, go either go into like an instance or things like that. And I just sort of wish that the multiplayer aspect for the MSQ was a little bit more there. Like I kind of wish it was something like Baldur's Gate, where you complete the entire story with like in co-op basically. And I feel like that's something that I would love to see. Is there another video game combat that you prefer, that you would like to see in this game? Because like for me, I think my now my 10 out of 10 game in terms of just like combat has to be Final Fantasy VII R. I think I really enjoyed the combat in Rebirth, and I think that is like the new gold standard in what combat in a video game should be like. So I'm just wondering, like, how do you see that? Like,
Really?
what game would you like to see in this game?
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking like more the action route. That's like my thing. But recently I played a Grand Blue Relink.
Okay.
That game's really good. It's got a similar like action kind of hack and slash type of a combat system.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, especially what happens in Dawntrail, because I feel like we're getting to the point where button bloat is definitely going to be a thing on the developers' minds, because there's just so many actions now. One of the things that I recently started trying to do was play this game on controller, because I think there's a couple of stuff on controller that I think kind of works a lot better than mouse and keyboard. I think the biggest one for me when it comes to controllers is the vibrations. Like, I don't know if you played on controller yet, but like if you have a PS5 controller with this game and you connect it to your PC, you actually get to experience, to like feel that PS5 vibrations control. So like when you get onto a mount, for example, it has like a very specific vibrations, like when, you know, like you're walking, it has a very specific vibration and things like that. So I thought that was really, really cool and really interesting. That I wanted to play a little bit more controller, but what I learned is that there's just so many actions that it starts to get really, really complicated when you start getting to like the level 90s, and I can't even imagine, you know, how many more actions they're gonna add in Dawntrail. So I think that's gonna be one of the things on developers' minds for sure.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of, I mean, even my own like hotbars, I got like 3 hotbars at this point, and it's already overflowing with skills. But yeah, I've seen like a lot of console, or not console, but controller players being able to do like a lot of like crazy black magic stuff with their controllers.
Yeah, it's insane, but you know, it is what it is. I'm sure they have a plan, and we'll see where it goes. So
in Yoshi P we trust.
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to Dawntrail, I'm curious, how big of a part do you want the Scions to play in Dawntrail? Because I feel like a lot of people are split on this question. It's like some people are saying, you know, the Scions have kind of run their course, their characters are kind of already, you know, like we've seen too much of them. It's time to get some new people, some new players into the game. And I'm just curious as to like how you feel about that.
Yeah, they're washed up. They're played out. They all got gray hair, white hair.
Yeah.
Just throw them in the nursing home. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I want more from Eorzea is like having adventures, like focusing more on like people in the world that aren't the main characters that are like super OP. You know, that's what I kind of do with my own like short films. Is like I try to focus on like, what would an adventure be like in this world? Who doesn't have like these godlike powers, just an average person.
Yeah, you know, it's funny to even think about it this way, but the one thing that I feel like that they really haven't explored in this game is just what the what the culture is like. Like, for example, Does Eorzea have any celebrities, for example? Are there any, big time musicians? Like, that'd be a cool arc to see where
Hmm.
there's like some, I don't know, some idol that we have to save, or I don't know, just like something more where we get to see what the world is actually like and what the people are actually like. Because that's the one thing that I've always loved about the Fallout games is that you get to like meet all of these new people, all these interesting people,
Hmm.
but you also get to like see what the life is actually like in like this town or in this city. And I feel like that is where I want them to just put a little bit more emphasis on, more focus on, and just what are celebrities like in the world of
Yeah,
Eorzea. That would be interesting in my opinion.
you kind of get that with the class quests,
Hmm.
because like the very first Gunbreaker mission is like escorting some singer, some celebrity chick.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the problem is like all those kinds of like cool storylines are locked behind like a class quest that's like not even canon.
Hmm.
You have to like, if you're not on a conquest to level all your classes, you're gonna miss a lot of things
Right.
story wise. So I don't know. I wish I would push more of those smaller stories to the forefront.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, like everyone is talking about this like beach episode vibe for
Mhm.
Dawntrail. Um, what does that mean to you? Like, what would you like to see from that? Like, from that vibe? Like, how do you see that, or how do you define it?
I mean, I like it. We deserve it after all the trauma we've been through.
Yeah.
One thing I want to see is a Blitzball for once. This is like the perfect
Mm.
expansion for Blitzball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The perfect
It's never gonna
expansion.
happen though.
Not from the devs, but maybe if a very smart, very handsome programmer wants to make their own game mode. I don't know.
Hell yeah, that would be awesome.
Something that totally complies with third-party plugins. The policy. Totally legal Blitzball.
Yep. We'll see. It's actually interesting because they haven't really talked a lot about Beastmaster. I feel like that's sort of kind of
Yeah,
just gone under the radar, and I'm just
yeah.
wondering, like, what do you want to see out of that, and how much time have you put into Blue Mage?
I put like I put a good 2 days into Blue Mage.
Yeah.
Leveled it with my friends like a few times and just never touched it again.
Yeah.
I
Same.
got self-destruct and never looked back.
That's the best one.
Yeah. As far as Beastmaster goes, I don't know, because like I haven't played too many of the old school games, so I
Yeah.
don't know what to expect from it. But at the same time, I know that they're going to revamp it in some way, like they did with Sage. Sage in the game is nothing like Sage in the old school games, and I want to see what they do with Beastmaster.
Yeah, like the only thing that I can think of is like, yeah, like what would that even look like? Like maybe you could capture like trash mobs and like some sort of
Maybe.
Pokemon type thing and have them fight with you. But like I don't know, like my only concern is that it's gonna go down the same route as Blue Mage, where you really don't have anything that you can do with it other
Yeah.
than like playing old, trials and stuff. Which
Mhm.
I mean, that can be kind of cool as well. But I just
Yeah.
hope that there's like more to do with it.
Yeah, it gets old.
Mhm.
It's tough because with a class like that, with Blue Mage, there's only so much content you can do because it's such a weird class. It's just a gimmick. That's all it really is.
Mhm.
It's just like the devs being like, "Hey, look at what this stuff we can do with the engine," and
Yeah.
just kind of like leaving it for dead.
Yeah.
Every few months, they like tap the cage of the Blue Mage and like feed it a little something.
Yeah, like it would be cool because one of the things that I think this game like definitely needs is more stuff to do in the overworld, especially like things that you can do while you are like queuing up for a roulette. Because
Yeah,
whenever I queue up for like an alliance raid as a DPS, you're always waiting a good 15-20 minutes depending on like what server you are.
Mm.
And I always get this like thought of what should I be doing when I queue? Because other than like doing like a beast tribe quest or like some gathering or crafting, there really isn't anything else that you can do. So I really hope they start to like put a little bit more emphasis on that as well. It's just giving us more stuff to do while we're queuing up.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, Endwalker is pretty much at the end, and you know, Dawntrail is already you know, right around the corner. But I am curious as to how you felt about all of this new stuff that we got in Endwalker. So, for example, Island Sanctuary. What are your thoughts on Island Sanctuary?
Island Sanctuary. I don't like farm sim games. I can't stand them. The good thing about it though that I liked is being able to level up and progress, because that's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
I like, you know, having a goal in sight and working toward it. I'm just not the personality type that can just like sit back and manage a farm.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't play games like Stardew Valley and shit. But yeah, like recently I wanted to get there's a certain costume and outfit you get when you get to level 20 in Island Sanctuary.
Yeah.
That was like my main goal, just grinding for that outfit for the last few months. Yeah, that's if it wasn't for that outfit, I would not have touched Island Sanctuary, because I'm a glamour fiend.
Yeah, I get it. Variant dungeons and Criterion dungeons. What are your thoughts on those?
I mean, I like the fact that they put good rewards behind them. Makes it worth to do. It's also nice having a different side to dungeons that we've already done.
Yeah.
Like, I like how they went back to Ul'dah, to Thanalan, with the Donimo one. That was really cool. But yeah, I hope I mean, that's one way they could like flesh out the story, really.
Yeah.
And like give side characters more of a role.
Yeah.
To highlight them more, is like give them like their own kind of side content.
Yeah, it's funny because the one thing that I took like out of that is, I don't know if this is gonna be a hot take or not, but I kind of feel that every single dungeon, maybe the first time around, should be a solo experience, because one of the things that I noticed that whenever you're playing through the MSQ and you do a dungeon, especially like an old dungeon, everyone kind of just, you know, rushes through it. No one really like, you know, walks around, pays attention to it. And when I was playing through that one with Nanimo, I was just thinking to myself, I was like, damn, I kind of wish dungeons were voiced, you know, and had like its own story. And I was just thinking, like, we can still have, you know, dungeon roulettes, you know, with other party members, with other randoms, because everyone is always going to do the roulettes, you know, like that's a core part of this game, is doing dailies and doing roulettes. Yeah. So I feel like the first time around, a dungeon should be a solo experience where you could actually have a story around it. You could have NPCs in the dungeon, and you could have like all of this like neat stuff. And I feel like we kind of they're starting to toy around with that in the MSQ, because even in the last in 6.55, when you're like going with Wuklamad and you're just like walking around with Grahatia in that dungeon, that was pretty cool. It was voice acted and everything. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, damn, this is what a first type like run through a dungeon should be, because by doing that, by making a solo thing, you could also teach players the mechanics of the fight. That way, when you go and do your roulettes and get this dungeon on the roulette, you sort of now know how the mechanics work. That would be a pretty interesting thing to do.
Yeah, that's true, especially with the older dungeons, because like a lot of the Realm Reborn, Heaven's War dungeons, you could tell they're very experimental. They're kind of like finding their way with dungeon design. They have all these like weird puzzles and traps. Yeah. And I feel like having an NPC there to like guide you, hold your hand, it'd make a lot more sense. Because like, I think back to the dungeons like the Ismail Darkhold, where you have to like I think that's the one where you have to stand in like those circles for like a few seconds, There's like
Yeah.
glowing eye and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like if it's your first time, that's confusing. Like Arm Veil,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's a, I hated those fuck ass dungeon designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could have like an NPC like guide me through it, that'd be so much better.
Yeah. Yep. 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 Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Um. So you are about to hit 62,000 subs on YouTube right now,
Yeah.
and I'm just curious how does that feel?
Honestly, a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like I started this whole thing just like making shit posts on YouTube. I never expected it to get this big.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, as long as people enjoy what I'm making, I mean, I started this whole thing just to make friends, almost honestly. So it's like I have met so many people on this game. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so you know, I have heard a lot of other creators say that, you know, subscriber counts on YouTube does not matter anymore. The only thing that matters is the algorithm. The only thing that matters is your thumbnail and your title, because a majority of your views are gonna be from non-subs. I'm just wondering, like, do you agree with that? Is that something that you have seen in your on your own channel? How much do they matter now?
Subs, nah, subs are a vanity metric. It's like for your ego, really. I see tons of channels like that. Like they have like 1,000 subs and like their videos get tens of thousands, 100,000s of views.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like an itty bitty channel.
Which which sub count milestone was the most biggest for you, or like the most personal? Like which one were you the most proud of? Was it 10K, 50K? Which one to you was like the most personal?
I think it was like 20K.
Why is that?
Because back then, because I was just a tiny 14 tuber
Yeah.
with like I think 10,000, 15,000 subs. But then I made the Genshin Impact videos, and that blew me up.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of a double-edged sword because like most of my subs came from Genshin Impact, but since I stopped posting Genshin Impact, like my views don't look nearly the same.
Yeah.
So it's kind of inflated, it's kind of bloated.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, it doesn't really matter. Subs don't really matter. It's just, you know, making content for the audience, for your core audience, you know. Like I make 14 content. I want to keep making 14 content. I tried making Genshin content, but it just burned me out. I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna just make what I want to make.
Yeah.
Because either way, there's an audience, you know.
Yeah, like that's so for people who don't know, like I try to make a video every single day. You know, it's usually just a short 10 15 minute 10 second 15 second meme, and I feel that because I have like a daily upload schedule, for me, if I have a video that bombs, that nobody watches, it's not like the biggest end of the world for me, because, you know, I'm just gonna try again tomorrow, and, you know, maybe that one is gonna go viral, or maybe that one's gonna blow up. So I'm just wondering, for you, like, how do you see your videos? Do you see them as this like masterpiece work of art that you put, you know, 10-20 hours into it, and if it doesn't do that good, does that affect you? Or like how do you see creating content for your channel now?
For me, it's a mix. You know, sometimes I have videos that I just pump out every week. Especially when I was starting out, that was like how I grew. The majority of my audience was just posting regularly.
Yeah.
Even on my new Twitter account, like it's been doing way better than my old account just because I post constantly. But I also have like every now and then I make those like big like videos I worked like weeks on, you know. But yeah, I think it's good to just do a mix. You know, have your daily content and have every once in a while you have that big piece of content that you worked really hard on.
Yeah.
And I think when you invest a lot of time and effort into a video, and the audience can see that, I think they appreciate it a lot more. Because I noticed like a lot of people, they like my TikToks.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen like a lot of people say like, "Oh, I got into 14 because of your TikToks." But at the same time, like, it's the big videos that really like hook people. You know,
Yeah.
those are the videos where like I show them and I'm like, "Oh, you're the guy." People are like, "Oh, you're the guy who made that one." You know, like Station Eorzea,
Yeah.
like Montero, stuff like that.
Yeah. Is there a specific video that you are like the most proud of? The one that you show your friends?
The most proud of,
Yeah.
honestly, my most recent one, which is the Thieves video.
Oh yeah. That was good.
Yeah, that was one I'm really proud of.
How
Honestly,
did that...
I was surprised Destination Eorzea got as big as it did, because that was just like some random like drone video I made.
Yeah.
Just like in like a week.
Dude, it's crazy. Like when it comes to creating content nowadays, it's just so crazy because you have no idea what blows up. Like,
Yeah.
especially on TikTok. Like I think that's what made me really enjoy TikTok, is the fact that you could just work on a random video for like 5 minutes and just put it up, and the next day it has like 100K views. It's crazy. And I don't think there is any sort of formula for like making a video go viral. I honestly do believe it's just all luck. But I'm just wondering, like, how do you see that?
I think it's just luck, but also having a track record of like videos you posted. Because I noticed if I see a really good video on my homepage, I look at the poster's channel.
Yeah.
And if they have like a track record of making similar videos, I'm gonna subscribe immediately, you know? Versus someone who posts like maybe once every few months. Like, I like their content, but it's not enough for me to like subscribe, because it's not consistent, you know?
Yeah. Was it hard for you to get comfortable with like the YouTube meta? Like learning how to put together a really engaging thumbnail, putting together an engaging title. Like, was that hard for you to do, or did it kind of just come naturally?
I mean, there was a learning curve with it, with anything. I mean, it's a skill. YouTube is a skill to learn.
Yeah.
It's always like social media, video editing, all of that. I mean, honestly, who doesn't want to be a YouTuber, right? But like, for me, I liked FF14. I liked, making memes.
Yeah.
So I kind of saw YouTube as an opportunity to like combine the two things. And also, I wanted to learn video editing too.
Yeah. So
that became like a vehicle for me to like, oh, I need to learn video editing so I can make, better FF14 videos. So that's what motivated me. That's what motivated me, because video editing is boring. It's hard. It's repetitive. No one wants to do it.
Sure.
But when you're doing something that's fun, that's that's engaging, it's a lot easier. That's how I've really built up my skills over the years.
Yeah. Are you a full-time content creator, YouTuber, or do you still have like a day job? I'm
kind of going half and half.
Yeah,
so I do YouTube. I do YouTube, but also do. I'm also in school.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like bouncing both.
Oh, okay, that's cool. What has been your the reaction to your YouTube, to your content creator? What would you call it? Hobby, career? I don't know. What has that reaction from the people in real life? How have they reacted to your channel? Do they know about it, or is it something that you kind of keep hidden? How do you?
They don't know.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Yeah.
No one knows.
Yeah. So, what made you what was the motivation for you to wanting to create videos at the very first the first place? Because I went back to your channel, And you have some videos that were uploaded 11, 12 years ago. So I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
like, where did it finally sort of come in where you're like, okay, I want to start making videos for YouTube? Like, when did you get serious about it?
I think like YouTube in general, it started with wanting to learn video editing, and so I would make those like anime, like EXE on crack type videos.
Yeah.
Those were like my first steps into like video editing, and then I got into 14 because I wanted to meet people who also played 14. So I figured if I make videos about it, I'll eventually find people who play it, and I did.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's kind of my story.
Yeah, gotcha. Where do you typically get your video ideas from?
Honestly, the ether. It's all revealed. It's all revealed to me in a dream.
Yeah.
I don't even know sometimes. I just see like some news, something new in the game, and it just comes to me. Or sometimes I'll find like a TikTok sound and it just inspires me.
Yeah. Do you, like in your notes app, do you just have like a list of like a bunch of different ideas?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Like thousands.
Yeah, me too. So 14 has drama from time to time. And I've noticed that for the most part, you have generally avoided them. And I'm just wondering, like, has that been on purpose, or was there like some reason behind that?
Nah, I mean, I see myself as like kind of a court jester. I don't get involved in the drama. I just kind of dodge it. I kind of just like skirt around it.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of my channel is to like bring good vibes, make people laugh. Like, I don't really see the point in getting involved in drama.
Yeah.
I'm just here for a good time.
Do you have a favorite drama moment of 14?
Favorite drama?
Yeah.
Honestly, the billboard incident.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one because I mean,
that was a good one.
They didn't do anything wrong technically, but everyone just like came after them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think.
But I mean, I don't expect to see something from me in the future similar.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, it would have to be the whole Lalafell chair thing.
That was funny.
Yeah, because
that was stupid.
That was the first one that I remember seeing like a news article about it, and I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. So I want to talk a little bit about just like YouTube in general. So you made a new channel on YouTube, Extra Saucey, and I'm just wondering, like, what was the mindset of wanting to create a new channel, starting from scratch? Must have been difficult.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. I mean, my viewer base is kind of loyal, so it wasn't too hard making the switch. It's just that my first channel is very like, that's like my whole journey from like when I started editing to now, pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like old content, a lot of edgy jokes, a lot of stuff that YouTube doesn't like. So that entire channel is like demonetized, shadow banned, everything.
Oh no! Wow.
But I mean, that's kind of like what happens when you're in the process of making stuff. You break eggs, you mess up, you fuck up. But I mean, yeah. So Extra Saucey for me is like a new start. It's a breath of fresh air.
Oh.
So I'm trying to like focus on a bit more quality over quantity over there. Yeah, the original channel is not completely dead, but I kind of want to use Extra Saucey as my main channel.
Yeah.
And kind of keep the main channel around just for like, just to look back on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive, how big it's gotten. Do you see like a different, like what do you think is the biggest difference between making content for TikTok and making content for YouTube?
Honestly, for me, it's been the audience. Like I notice on TikTok, the audience is a lot more receptive to the content I make over there because it's a lot more like Gen Z, Gen Z humor type stuff. Whereas like I post the same TikToks to YouTube and like every now and then I get those like negative comments like, "Oh, what is this?" Just Gen Z humor.
Yeah.
You know.
That's me whenever I post anything on Reddit.
Yeah, the Reddit's tough. That's a tough crowd.
Yeah.
I don't post as much on there anymore.
Uh-huh. So
it's a tough crowd.
Yeah, and so I'm just wondering, like, like a couple years, like going back, for like in your channel, where would you how would you promote your videos? Did you do much promotion for them at all, or like how did you go about doing that? Because I've I've tried Reddit, and Reddit is tough. Like,
yeah,
if they don't like you, or they'll just go into like your profile and start downloading everything, every single comment. It's crazy. So how did you do it? Like, how did you promote your stuff?
Honestly, just like YouTube and Reddit. That was my main. That was my bread and butter.
Yeah.
Because Reddit, you can like go from nothing to like everything. It's just you have to kind of. They have a very particular sense of humor on Reddit, and if you can hit it, you're golden.
Yeah.
But if not, it's kind of tough. I mean, I would say like try stuff it out. Try to like learn from it. Try to find out what kind of humor they actually like. Because like they are ruthless. They're savage. Like I had them like go on like my other posts from like other subreddits and be like commenting negative shit on there too. It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Reddit is really good if you want to promote your 14 stuff, like FF14, shitpost 14. Those are those grew my channel pretty much.
Yeah. So I think for me, one of the hardest obstacles was making a video with my own voice in it, like having like a voiceover. And I'm just wondering, like, have you ever thought about making videos like that, or have you ever wanted to make like a guide or like a video essay? Is that ever something that you will consider?
I have a few ideas. I have a few ideas like that. I made one, never again. It was a lot of work. I didn't really enjoy it. It was kind of miserable. I just put it out just to put it out because it was just like the sunk cost fallacy. I put way too much time into it. I just wanted to see it done. And when it was done, it got a lot of negative comments.
Wow.
I was just like, I mean, it was kind of this Venn diagram of like, it was tough to make and I didn't really enjoy making it. I just thought like, I was in that like a business YouTuber mindset where I'm like, what's gonna make what's gonna do the best in the algorithm? But that's not always the good idea. Like you want something that's gonna do well in the algorithm, but also something that's like genuine that you enjoy making.
Yeah.
Because when it comes from that kind of place, it's gonna resonate with people more.
Yeah.
Because people can sense the bullshit.
Yeah, people like I have started getting comments and questions like that of, oh, what type of video should I make? And my response to that has always been the same, which is make a video that you would enjoy. Make a video that you would watch.
Exactly.
Like I don't know if this is conceited or not, but there are many videos that I make of that I laugh at while I'm making it, and I feel like that is always the sense of a good video when you yourself would actually sit down and watch it.
Exactly. I'm the same way.
Yeah. What do you consider a successful video?
Successful video.
Yeah.
It depends on what you mean.
What is not a bomb? Like a video that bombed.
Not a bomb.
Like, is it
like view wise?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, for me, it depends on the platform. Like on TikTok and Twitter, if I get like 1,000 views or 1,000 likes, that's huge already for me.
Yeah.
On YouTube, if I can get like 3,000 views in a day, that's like massive for me. Because 14 is a very like small niche. It's weird because like it's a very big game with lots of players, but like not many people consume content around the game.
That is the
outside of like
that is the most fascinating thing. Yeah, I have noticed that too, because every once in a while you'll see a YouTuber get a good like 10, 20,000 to like 100,000. Like I feel like there are maybe 10 big, like quote unquote big time YouTubers. You know, you have like the Zeplas, you have like the Xenos. You know, I feel like there are maybe like a good 10 big YouTubers, and then everyone else is kind of just like at the bottom,
Yes,
sort
a
of just
huge
trying.
gap.
Yeah, and there's like a huge gap with it, and that is like I don't know what it is about this community, but I forgot who I was talking to, but I was talking to another creator, and he basically said, I don't think 14 players like watching 14 content. And
Yeah.
at first, when he said that, I was just like kind of thinking about it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I agree on that. But at the same time, I kind of do, because there's always there, like, it's a huge game with like a huge fan base. But only, like I said, only like 10 or so creators are actually getting like the bulk of the views. And then everyone else is kind of just in the bottom trying to claw their way for some sort of eyeballs on their content.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I feel like I'm like somewhere in the middle somehow.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken years, but I'm finally in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's really good.
And the thing is, because like you said, it's like 10 or so channels that are like at the top.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for like years. Because if you look back at the media tours over the years, it's like more or less the same people, except for like Asmongold and like Rich Campbell that one year.
Yeah.
But like more or less, it's like the same people. It's kind of dusty at this point.
Yeah.
But like every now and then you get like Pine, you get like Cider Spider who like blow up.
Oh, I love Pine.
That's who you should interview next, like Cider Spider. Pine.
I wish. I'm
DM them.
Yeah. There's a couple people on my list that I'm like, damn, that would be great. Like, I think
Gotta shoot your shot.
Preach has always been like on my list. Like, damn, that would be a huge get. Zeppela would be a pretty huge get.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion. But I gotta be honest, you were also on that list of big top Final Fantasy 14 creators that I was like, I would never get the chance to talk to, and then here you are, which is crazy.
I mean, I'm honored.
Yeah. Did you teach yourself how to edit? I think you said you did, right?
Yeah, I'm self-taught, just like YouTube tutorials.
Yeah.
I have just like watching AMVs and like figuring out like how to do it, how they did that. You know, watching like the anime on crack videos, trying to like copy those. That's how I learned.
Yeah. Was Extra Saucey, like, was that your first YouTube like project channel, or did you have something like before that nobody knows?
No, Saucy Noodle and Extra Saucy are my only two.
Yeah.
I also had I know a third one called Nudes, but that one got demonetized too.
I bet.
I'm on like my third channel now.
Yeah. So, what are your future plans for your channel? You know, we are basically at the second quarter of 2024 now. What do you got planned in the horizon?
Well, one thing I've learned is like trying to hustle for views in this niche is impossible. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
What works is like genuine content. You know, having those videos like the Thieves video, Destination Eorzea, the ones that like really pull up people's heartstrings, but also come from a genuine place.
Yeah.
Those kind of masterpieces. But this year I also want to do more collabs. You know, sometimes I do like big collabs. Like I have the FF14 YouTube Rewind.
Yeah.
That's the one I did. But I did that one time. That was
awesome.
Really, it was massive. There was like tons of people there.
Yeah.
I want to do that again, maybe this year.
That would be cool. Damn. Like, is like who like what would be like a big get for you, like in terms of like collabing? Like who would you want to work with?
I mean, right now I'm working with Magitech Productions on they're making a FF14 short film.
Yeah.
That's already big. I mean, their channel is kind of small, their audience is kind of small, but I think when they finally finish the movie, it's gonna be massive.
Hell yeah.
But like, there's them. Also Pint. I really admire Pint's editing.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yep.
I want to learn how they do that. So that's my big two though.
Damn. Well, that's pretty much it for today, folks. Again, I am so happy that you said yes to coming on the show.
Of course.
And yeah, I cannot wait to see like what else you put out this year, because like I said, you are one of my favorite. You're like one of my personal favorites, and your videos have honestly been an inspiration for me.
Thank you.
Because of course, I also make meme videos, so I wasn't joking when I said that you are one of the gods of shit posting on YouTube. So this has been very, very a pleasure.
I mean, I've seen your stuff too on TikTok.
Oh, thank you. That was actually surprising, because I've always sort of just posted stuff on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok at the same time, and it's just interesting how all like out of nowhere everything just sort of blew up on TikTok, and then now on YouTube. I'm starting to see a lot more growth, and I think that's like the thing that I've always noticed about like the biggest difference about creating content on TikTok and on YouTube is that on TikTok, I feel like the only time that actually matters for a video is like maybe like the first 3-4 days of a video. That is where like a bulk of all of the video views come from, and then after that it kind of just sort of
it fizzles out.
Yeah. Whereas like on YouTube, I've noticed that a lot, like YouTube Shorts, I've noticed that a lot of videos sort of take maybe like a good couple weeks, even like a month before it actually starts to get anywhere. So I've always thought that was interesting, the way that those two algorithms work. Yeah,
it's true.
But yeah, I guess there's really nothing else but to lay out the carpet and just give you a chance to plug your stuff. Where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Saucey Noodle, extra Saucey Noodle everywhere else. TikTok, Twitter. Twitter is Summoner Senpai, because my old account got nuked by Elon. So you can find me on Twitter, Summoner Senpai. Everywhere else, Saucey Noodle. And thanks for having me.
Awesome. And as always, I'm Alpaca, and this has been Chocobo Radio Podcast. Bye, everybody. Woo! I love that.